evening. Welcome to Community Updates and Enlightened Hearts podcast. I'm your host, Michelle White, and we've got our host, Dr. Regina Hall, and we have Mr. Carl Wellborn here with us this evening. We're so grateful for all of you who tune in and take the time out of your busy schedules to tune in to Community Updates and Enlightened Hearts. We're here every Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. And we like to start our podcast out with a few things that are dealing with the community. So, many of the things you can go to my website, my Facebook page, Michelle Turner White, and there's just a host of information, jobs, expungements, Section 8 housing. Yeah, expungements is on there. I just posted. A lot of people were resharing because there's a city expungement
They not too long
thing.
had one.
They
That's
did, but
great.
they've got another one going on right now. Isn't that
That's
great?
awesome.
Yes. So go to Michelle Turner White on Facebook, and you can see a lot of that information that will be helpful to you. Um, Lions Club International, we've been doing it. This is our fifth year doing a huge donation giveaway. We collect recycled furniture. So maybe you've got a couch, a bed, chairs, a dining room set, living room set, televisions, vacuum cleaner, any kind of home items, plates and glasses and things of that nature. And we will come and pick those things up, and then we give them away to people. Yes, there are agencies where they can go to purchase them, but how many of you know that helps your mental wellness when you're going through something and you can use that recycled item? And it also helps our environment, so we aren't throwing things out and messing up our landfills. So be sure and contact. You can dial 248-238-4863 if you have some items to be picked up. We'll come and pick it up in a truck. Lions Club International. You will receive a tax donation receipt for what you've donated. That's 248-238-4863. And then on June the 15th, Saturday, June the 15th, we will be hosting a huge giveaway. So tell your friends, tell whoever needs some things. We're going to have a huge giveaway right at the Maiden House Ministries at 16111 Woodward. That's 16111 Woodward in Highland Park, right at the corner of Puritan. And that'll be June the 15th, Saturday from 10 to 4. So be sure and let people know that's upcoming. And then because of that event, we have a fundraiser that will be to help support that event for the Lions Club International and Tim Women's Life group. And so we're going to April the 13th, Saturday, April the 13th, you can purchase tickets. $15 tickets will allow you to see a movie called Baby Boomers. And people say what it's about. It's about baby boomers. So it's about baby boomers, and many of us are baby boomers. Some aren't. Just there's a different generations. But it's a movie matinee, 3 o'clock, April the 13th, and it's at 3 o'clock p.m. at the Imagine Theater in Farmington Hills, Michigan. And we're going to have a 50-50 raffle. We're going to be giving away 7 different dinner coupons for you to go to dinner at some very nice restaurants, and we'll have a $100 Amazon gift card. Now, this is all compliments of ABB Wealth Strategies, who is our sponsor. So we want to thank ABB Wealth Strategies and all that they do to help and how they're helping in our community, helping to serve, and together we serve. Call the number to get your ticket today. It's 248-988-8200. Call 248-988-8200. Get your movie ticket. Come on out. You'll be able to meet me and Dr. Regina and some other people here at WJZZ, and we'll look forward to seeing you. We'll watch the movie together and have lots of fun. Dr. Regina, did you have some things that you wanted to share?
Yes, I wanted to share about Wednesday Enlightenment. On Wednesdays now, we're going to be doing Wednesday Enlightenment, and oftentimes I bring a comment or some word or some information, but I wanted to make sure that I was providing more information on mental health or how to get through or develop some coping skills, right? Just to help our audience and invite you as our guest to call in and talk to us at 313-355-6018 and to talk to our guest today, which you'll be finding out more about him. And so today we're calling it navigating through life stagnations, okay? So, which means getting unstuck. And the way that we can talk about getting unstuck is that everybody is stuck at some point in their life. They feel stuck. Everybody. No one goes around in this life not feeling like they're on some roller coaster at one point in their life. And so I just want to help us to understand there are some things that we can do. And again, call in to 313-355-6018 and tell us how you were able to get unstuck. Because all of us do get unstuck. One of the ways of us getting unstuck is first acknowledging the feeling that we are stuck. How about that? Acknowledge that we are stuck and no judgment. Sometimes we can be very harsh on ourselves, and I have to often tell my clients, what I want you to do is reach behind your back and pat yourself because you're being pretty hard on yourself. And so what we need to do, yes,
I'm real hard on myself.
and it doesn't help us. It just pushes us further down into a hole. So the way we get unstuck is one, acknowledge the feeling with no judgment. Two, self-reflection. Now, when we are self-reflecting, we have to recognize that we are stuck and what's keeping us stuck, okay? So that's a nice self-reflection. Why are you stuck and what's keeping you stuck? We have to examine that. The third thing we need to do is set small, achievable goals. A lot of times when we set out to do things, we think that we have to complete it all in one shot. We do not have to complete it all in one shot. I had something that happened the other day, and I encouraged myself to take one single step. I know what it is. I had been encouraging myself to start back doing more with my Bible, getting into deeper Bible studies and things of that nature. And I was not taking that step. So I said, I'll tell you what, Regina, do 5 minutes. 5 minutes. If you can just do a little deep dive for 5 minutes, that's it. Guess what? It turned into 30 minutes.
Oh,
no
wow.
problem.
Okay.
If you just set it
Yeah.
and just a little small step, why are you stuck? What and what's keeping you there? Examine that and ask yourself, this is where I am. Now, where do I want to go? Look at where you want to go. We most of the time know where we want to go. And oftentimes we may not know how to get there. So you may have to get a counselor, get a coach, talk to someone who's where you say you want to be. You may have to do that. But you are going to have to seek help if you don't know what to do. And the answers do not always rely on you. God has created all of us, and somebody got an answer out there for us. And so let's use our network and let's use other people to help us to get to where we want to go. The other one is change up a routine. You know, my dad used to say all the time, I don't want you coming home all the time the way you left. Okay? Because people watch you. Change up your routine. And you know something? I got my daughter doing that. Think about the times that you're coming home. Stop doing the same old, thinking that you're going to get a different result. Change up a routine. One little thing. I tell my clients, as I tell my daughter, if you want something different, you're going to have to change something.
Yeah.
Something got to change in order to do something different. And I tell myself that as well. The last one is seek inspiration. Today I got a chance to speak to Sabrina Jackson, and we were just talking up a storm, and I called her just to do a check-in, but she didn't answer. I'm telling you, it was nothing but God. She ministered to me from the time she got on that phone to the time we hung up. Didn't even know I needed ministering in that way, but she did it. God would send inspiration your way. He will. And so that's what it is. So call us at 313-355-6018 and share with us ways that you have gotten unstuck. You just heard me say we don't have all the answers. God bless you, and thanks for tuning in.
Thank you, Dr. Regina. Awesome words. Now, you just did a speaking at the Twisted Storytellers.
Yes.
And do you have some other Secret Society? You did an awesome job.
Oh, thank you.
You're more than welcome.
Yeah.
And do you have some other things coming up where people can come and hear you?
Well, We'll see. I
Okay.
got some things in the works.
Okay.
Not, I haven't settled on. However, Sisters Journeying Together, we
Mm-hmm.
do our tea.
Okay.
And I have set the tea date, and
Mm-hmm.
it's September the 7th. You'll
Okay.
be getting more information about that, and it's going to be at Greater Grace.
Oh, okay.
I'm really excited about it, and we're going to have a fun time. And yes, you're going to be able to wear your hats. How about that?
I
Yes.
bought two last year, so I'll be able to wear the one I didn't wear.
Okay. Yes. And I'm going to wear one. How about that? I forgot my hat. So, yes.
So, Mr. Carl Wellborn, we are so glad that you were here with us today.
Happy to be here.
Thank you.
Yes.
And we're going to tell Carl Wellborn Sr. is the founder and current executive director of Friends of the INT Detroit, and it's Independent Rides is the name of your company. It's a nonprofit ride service designed specifically for the needs of older adults. And then you also help visually impaired as well that might need rides. So Carl retired from General Motors in 2018 after a 34-year career
Wow.
in advanced transportation development. And while there, he worked in advanced engineering, advanced vehicle design, and research and development. And during his last 13 years at General Motors, he led a 3-year project called the Independence Project. And the goal of the project was to investigate the unprecedented aging of the world's people, and to understand what this trend meant to transportation companies like General Motors and other companies. He helped develop strategies that would keep the company relevant to all consumers, ensuring the need of aging populations where that are well integrated. And the insights he gained from that primary research, combined with the lessons drawn from current collaborations, have brought him to where he is today with this company called Independent Rides. So tell us a little bit about, well, you told it that from your bio, it tells us a little bit about how you got involved with Independent Rides, but give us a little bit more background
Yeah.
on where you're from, and how you came to Detroit, and how you came to get involved with Independent Rides. Bless you.
Thank you.
So thank you for having me again. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
As to me, nothing special. I'm originally from Baltimore, Maryland.
Okay.
Oh.
Born, raised there.
Mhm.
I have two sisters. One is passed, the other one's still there. I moved to Detroit basically to work for General Motors. I'm a car nut. I have been for all my life, certifiable. And so,
How many cars do you have? A lot of cars?
oh, I'm on the wagon. I don't have anything now.
Okay. He's on the
Be
wagon.
careful. Oh, yeah, definitely on the wagon. But because I'm a car nut, I've got that gene. I was drawn to companies like General Motors.
Okay.
So I came here directly from North Carolina, NC State. Worked here for 34 years. Had a kind of a dream career in, as you said, advanced engineering, advanced
Generous
design.
Motors.
Generous Motors, all of that within Generous Motors. Worked at Milford Proving Grounds for 4 years, but then ended up in R&D. And it was the one project that I led called the Independence Project that really opened my eyes to the problem of how older folks get around, especially once they can't drive anymore. Once someone takes away the keys or it's not a safe option anymore, I had no idea just how difficult it was. Not just difficult to get from place to place, but the impact on their lives. The world gets smaller so quickly. And so basically I thought, I guess one way to put it is you could see my 34-year career in many ways as a training exercise on how to do exactly what I'm doing right now. So here
And
I am.
so in your R&D time, you found that there's a huge population of seniors or the visually impaired that you would think have an opportunity to have ride or transportation under their insurance. But there's a huge population that don't have rides. Some of you are listening today, and maybe you or your loved one doesn't have transportation services provided to them under their insurance, and then that's where you come in, correct?
Exactly. We are small potatoes, but that's where we are trying to catch people who, for one reason or another, fall between the cracks to get them rides.
So another challenge that in particular people that are on a fixed income have is finances to pay for that.
That's right.
So how do they pay for the rides? You have trucks or vans or cars, or what do you do?
Well, actually, our rides our mission is to provide dignified rides for seniors and vision impaired adults. Dignity, personal dignity is a key part of that. So all of our rides are given in normal vehicles, regular vehicles. We set it up such that a person feels like they're riding with a friend. So we don't have a van or a bus or anything, and there are companies that do that, and they do a very good job at it.
I love that.
But for what we do, we focus on the individual and
Yeah.
maintaining your personal dignity. As a standard practice, we also offer support that often is needed for people that are getting older. So for instance, walking assistance may be needed to get from the vehicle to the building or to the office even.
And some of the ride services don't offer that.
That's
If
right.
you can't get to the door and get in their van,
Yeah.
you're out of luck.
Yeah,
They
exactly.
are not coming to the door to pick you up. I did find that out.
Yeah, no, we are very much focused on, again, standard feature to be able to provide that support.
I like what you said, dignified.
Dignified.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do they find out about you?
Typically, so far, because we're so small, and because of COVID, the people that have come to us have usually come to us by word of mouth.
Okay.
From other riders,
Okay.
other organizations who have talked us up for people that they know don't fit into the kind of standard mold or where the ride is paid for. Very often, they just come to us because someone told them about us.
And you have a very nice website. So do you have your website connected with other senior centers or?
We're still pretty small. That's
Okay.
coming.
Okay.
But we try to keep it at least legible
Okay.
and information filled. We still got modifications to do, but yeah, we're
Very nice website. So people can go to www.independencerides.com and they can schedule something on your website?
Well-
Or they need to dial the number?
Yeah, they should dial the number. We
Okay.
are a membership-based organization,
Mhm.
and it's not members like you have to be approved to be in, but we gather information, become a member, we get to know you, you get to know us, so that when you take a ride, it is more like you're riding with a friend.
Okay.
That way, the drivers are all closer, they feel a little more familiar right from the very beginning.
So
And
do
then, of
you
course,
do
we-
it kind of like Uber and Lyft?
No.
Well, I mean, in the aspect of they're riding with someone personally, can they
Yeah.
select who they want to pick them up, or?
Yes, you're right. Very often, the driver is someone driving their own vehicle or one of our vehicles. That's true. Sometimes, after they've ridden with us, they can ask for a certain driver, and that happens very often. But we're not exactly like Uber and Lyft in terms of just dropping people on the curb and that sort of thing.
Could you tell us more about the membership? How does
Sure.
what's the process?
The process is we have an application that each person fills out. And again, that's just gathering information so they get to know us and we get to know them, specifically what kind of rides they need. So for instance, some have a walker. We want to know that so that when we send the driver is someone who can pick up the walker and load it. Folding wheelchair, we can do that as well. Or if they're blind, or if they need help getting from the vehicle to the building, or in some cases, from their own home to the vehicle. All that kind of information we want to know ahead of time so that when the vehicle arrives to give the ride, it's personalized, I guess is a good way to put it.
So I was wondering, because you said the blind, right? And I'm imagining that you have it set up where they can key in their information. Like, cause how does it work?
Well, basically, in order to try to keep it personal,
Uh-huh.
if someone that's vision impaired calls us and says, I would like to join up, we connect them with our rides coordinator.
Okay.
And she works with them on the phone and will fill out the application.
Okay, so you
with
do
them.
help with filling out
Oh, yeah.
applications.
And even if you're not blind, we do that.
Yes, that makes sense, a lot of sense. Yeah. That's awesome. And so how do you select your drivers?
That is a good question. And in fact, that is one of the big challenges for us. We are very careful about the people that drive with us. Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody's insured, the vehicles are insured,
People
everybody in
want
the
to take
vehicle.
advantage of seniors so that they
Yes.
can, and they don't like meeting new people, they don't
Yes.
always feel comfortable. So how do you
Well,
how do you
the-
select them?
The standard, for anyone that wants to drive with us, we are definitely interested in talking with you, but you got to know that everybody goes through a background check, criminal and driving record background
That's
check.
good.
They fill out an application. We have to make sure that their license is good, that they're insured. If they're using their vehicle, the vehicle's insured. We go through all of that to make sure that everybody's safe. We tend to, we tend to be a little more careful when it comes to the driver versus the rider to make sure that there's a good match there. So for instance, we have some gentlemen that ride with us that are in their 70s, 80s, that might need some walking assistance. We make sure that we send a driver that is the right size, that can handle that kind of challenge.
Right.
There are some people that need help with getting the seatbelt connected or getting in and out of the vehicle. We make sure that the drivers are able to do that. So the drivers need to be able to, need to be willing to help people at that level. And that doesn't include everybody. But if you're that kind of person, we want to talk to you.
I think that's awesome. So do you get your drivers from mostly organization or churches? Because that's pretty personal.
It is.
Yeah.
It is very personal. So far, drivers have been a combination of friends, again, people who have heard about us, word of mouth, and have come through, gone through our system, and everything was a good fit. We never knew that they even existed until they talked to us, but we've got some drivers that are just perfect people for this particular role. So it could be any number of places.
So are you looking for more drivers?
We are definitely looking for more
Do
drivers.
you give the drivers a gas stipend, or how does that work?
We work both with paid drivers and volunteer drivers. So volunteer drivers, if they want, and we haven't run into one yet that will take it, but we offer volunteer drivers a compensation for gas and things like that, but they want to give it back to us to strengthen the organization. We also have paid drivers. Paid drivers, everybody's part-time, but paid drivers will get a pay per ride. Some people can only drive, give 2 or 3 rides a month, 2 or 3 round-trip rides a month, which just doesn't sound like much, but they're very helpful and very necessary to the people that get the rides. So we're very flexible in that regard, but we are constantly looking for new drivers, paid or volunteer.
Okay. Is there an age
Yes, we have a
range?
age
For
minimum.
the drivers?
For the drivers, yeah, minimum 25 years old. You need to have some experience, in driving a
Okay.
vehicle. We don't have an upper age limit. It really depends on the individual. So as a part of the interview and training process, we do an assessment that makes sure that you're a good fit for the kind of work that we want to do. There are a lot of people that really want to help a lot, but it may be a little beyond what their ability is, so we make sure that, for instance, for a smaller framed female, we will not match them with the larger gentleman that needs walking assistance. And we tell them that right up front. And so they're okay with just doing the rides that they can handle. So in a lot of ways, it's very customized to the driver.
Yeah.
So there might be some people out there that are watching us right now, or someone that could use a little money to supplement their income and would like to do something to help some people. You can call 313-618-1578. Again, that number's 313-618-1578. That's Independence Rides. You might want to just make a little extra money and help some people along the way. So give them a call at 313-618-1578. And again, if you're listening right now, you want to call in, you have some questions, and Dr. Regina's going to be talking about some other things, and I was sharing with her that I was talking to, Dr. Regina is a licensed therapist, and sometimes we get calls from people offline that could use your services. And I just was letting people, you can call in here every time we're on from 6 to 7 and talk to the therapist. Ask some questions. Hash out some challenges. You can give us a call while we're on air at 313
355-6018. And just a station ID, you're watching Community Updates and Enlightened Hearts live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and other top social media platforms. Please like, follow, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching Wjzz Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. Yeah, as you were talking, I started really thinking about our seniors, and you mentioned COVID, and a lot of, I'm imagining, seniors lost loved ones and found themselves being alone, and can you just share with us how was COVID for you with the seniors, and did it shut you down totally, or did the seniors become more reliant on you?
Yeah. Uh, One of the things I learned from a research perspective, even before COVID, while I was still back at GM, is the issue of social and economic isolation that happens
Yeah.
too often with older folks. Just not being able to get out creates a level of isolation that's difficult to get away from. COVID comes along and makes that situation even worse.
Yeah.
Even for those that did have a riding arrangement situation to get to the doctor, get to grocery shopping, things like that, for many of them, COVID shut that down. It was kind of unfortunate to learn, but we had to deal with it, where sometimes we'd go to pick up someone for a ride, and just in talking, find out that they hadn't been out of the house since the last time we gave them a ride, which was a week ago or sometimes 2 weeks ago. So it's a huge issue. We like to see ourselves as being helpful in that regard, to help people not just through COVID or situations like COVID, but in the emergence, to get back connected with their communities, get back connected with doing their own grocery shopping and their health and the dentist and that sort of thing. So that's very much a part of it.
Do you have what types of fees do the seniors need to pay for? Does it vary depending on where they're going? Or I
It
would
does-
imagine, how do you do that?
Well, as a small nonprofit, that gives us a lot of flexibility. So we've kind of set a standardized fee or fare for the rides, which is typically $10 to $12. The longer distance rides can be up to $15, but it's unusual to get a ride that's more than $15.
Okay.
So $10 to $15, most are $10, $12, and that's per ride. So a round trip ride to the doctor, for instance, will be $20. However, as a nonprofit also, we worked really hard to find ways, engage companies, corporations, individuals to donate to help support those rides. So for instance, a key program or project we have right now is called the Nobody Left Behind Project. And that is basically a project that matches people who have a passion for a certain kind of thing, like doctor's appointments, with people that need to get to doctor's appointments. And those people then get a no-charge ride to the doctor. One of the features is, one of the funds is the Healthy Smiles Fund, where we get a dental company that gives a small donation to help pay for people going to the dentist. And so it's a literal win-win, and that is specifically in place because we know that even $10 can be a lot for some people.
Yeah, right.
And so we want to step up and try to find ways to get the community involved to help pay for some of these rides.
Awesome.
Because most of when you talk about like the vans or buses, they have many seniors that are on there. So to hear is more personalized, custom made. But you also write that it can be expensive. And so I'm wondering, is there a reason why you didn't tap into it from that perspective? Because Medicare can get involved in that. What made you resist going that route?
One of the reasons I found, again, in all the research, is that the problem is so large is because that part of the work is so tempting, is so attractive, to get connected with a large company, to get the large amount of money, to build a large company, and that sort of thing. And all those things are necessary and very good. However, as an undesirable result, there are a lot of people that fall through the cracks.
Okay.
And so we are here to help catch some of those people that are falling through the cracks. At some point, we might grow to the point where that
Yeah,
works better,
okay.
but we got to start where the need really is, and that is those people that are low income, often the inability to see very well, sometimes the inability to hear. Very often, they don't fit the description for the larger companies, and so we're here to help.
Okay, all right, that's wonderful.
I was just going to ask you, what are some of the demographics of your clientele. So there can be an age, you pick up people from what, 60 and up?
60 and above,
Mm.
but also for vision impaired, and by vision impaired we mean legally blind.
Mhm.
It can be as young as 18.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
So you take them to places, to the doctor, grocery shopping?
Before COVID, we take them anywhere they wanted to go.
Okay.
COVID shut that down, so that limited us to doctor's appointments and grocery shopping. And we are still climbing or emerging from that. So right now, it's mostly doctor's appointments, grocery shopping, personal banking we can do. To see someone here, it depends on the situation when we can do it, but again, the drivers is a big part of that. The more drivers we have, the more rides we can provide, and that will help us to be able to provide more destinations.
Yeah.
And
that
can you
sounds
make
good.
more than one stop? Let's say I need to go to the grocery store, maybe stop at the bank, or cash my check, my social security check.
Mhm.
You can do a couple of stops,
Yep, we have a feature.
all for the same price?
Well, we have a feature called extra stops. Basically, if there's a stop, let's say someone goes to a doctor's appointment, but on the way back, they need to go to the pharmacy, or they need to stop at the store or something. If it's within 2 miles of the normal route, then we call it extra stop, and that's $2.50.
Okay.
Now, if it gets to be far, then it ends up being another ride, which is then still just $10. But the point is, we try to be flexible enough to be able to match real life kinds of situations. And so that's very much a feature.
Are more of your clients seniors or the visually impaired? And we're going to get you connected with the Greater Detroit Agency for the Blind. Are you already connected with them, visually impaired?
We are, I have to say, we've kind of been playing phone tag a little bit, but
I'm
we're,
on the board, no more phone tag.
well, there we go.
Yeah, that's great. I did want to ask you, because you offer this service, and it's such a great service, do you find that the seniors start leaning on you for other type of resources?
Not just yet, mainly
Okay.
because we don't have any other resources. The only thing we do is provide rides. And we can present connections to other organizations if
And
we're
you do
aware of
that?
them.
You
And we
will?
do that,
Okay,
yes.
great.
We do
Okay.
that.
That's
Yep.
awesome. Yeah. It's just what you said. Seniors are so isolated, and they're not necessarily checked up on. So the fact that you have this where you can go pick them up, at least someone is laying eyes on them. When we were growing up, my dad always taught us to have such a respect for our seniors and to be involved. Unfortunately now, well, I'm in a pretty young neighborhood. I don't know a senior on my block.
Really?
I
I
don't
still
think
have
it's
several on my
one.
block.
Not that I was just saying that, because we
Yeah.
always had them. When my daughter was growing up, we had a senior around the corner. She passed away 2 or 3 years ago, and I used to send Amanda to go help her out, like walking her dog and different
Okay,
things of
yeah.
that nature, just to let her value
Yeah.
I really believe that our seniors need to be more valued, and even,
And
having,
respected.
and respected.
At this
yeah.
age today, I can't tell you how many times I've heard young people say, well, I'm not going to respect you unless you respect me.
Yeah.
How about the fact that I've been on the planet 25, 30, 40, 50 years longer than you? Just that alone should give me the opportunity to be respected by a young person. Unfortunately, these days, would you agree with your
Yeah,
counselor?
it's
That's not
it's
the
just
same.
not the same, they feel like they're on the same level.
Right.
And I think,
Where they get that train of thought from, though?
well,
I
so
don't
you
know.
go more into the private schools, they're allowed to call the teachers by their first name, some of these private schools,
okay.
because they're teaching progressive. Yeah, and, I'm not into it, but,
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
I think our seniors need to be respected.
Right, I
And
do too.
just the fact that you have this service, I can imagine that it's giving them a chance not only to get out, but maybe even meet other people and maybe make some friends. Now, do you just do one person, or it depends on the type of car?
It depends on the situation. So for
Okay,
instance,
the situation.
we have one rider's been riding with us for just about the whole time, who
Okay.
has been blind all of his life. And he has a friend, a buddy, that also is a senior and can use a ride too. And so usually we pick up both, and they could both support each other. And so in that
Yeah, that's
situation, there are 2 people that are pretty much all the time with them. There's
right.
no extra cost for that.
Mhm.
That is very much normal for them.
Buddy
Yeah,
system.
A buddy system kind of
Mhm.
thing. But we also have a family arrangement. There's no extra cost for that. So if you have an individual going to a doctor and then going back home, that's $20. If it's a husband and wife going to the doctor and going back home, it's $20. It doesn't change because it doesn't cost us anymore to,
Right.
to help take two
Oh,
people.
wow. That's
Now,
awesome.
it gets to be difficult if they're not related or if it's just two
Mhm.
people going different places like that, so we won't do that. But it depends on the person's life, what they're dealing with, and kind of help they need, and we try to fit to their need.
Well, tell us about some of the challenges that you find yourself in.
The challenges can be varied. One of them, for instance, is, well, I'll skip by the drivers as a challenge because I've already talked about that. But some of the other challenges can be very often when we go to pick up someone, they will be late. You have to be flexible, to, as much as we can, anticipate that. But when it's just impossible to do, we have to be flexible kind of on the fly. That can be a challenge. Sometimes when a person hasn't been out in a long time, they need to go to the doctor, but I need to go shopping too. And the shopping trip tends to be a little longer than it's supposed to be. That can be a challenge. All of these are real life things that we try to be flexible with. We learn from them, try to build programs to support them in the future. I'll tell you one that was a particular one. I gave the ride to an individual who rode by a festival that was going on in the city, and I could tell, they wanted to stop and go to the festival. We couldn't, but what that manifests itself into was one of the Nobody Left Behind Fund programs called Celebrate Independence. And I always do that because it's a great thing, because the focus of it is to give a person a no-charge ride to a festival, or to a museum, or to the library, or
awesome.
I
to a
like
coffee,
that.
a festival.
Mhm.
Get them connected with what's
Yeah.
going on in the
And
town.
this is one of the organizations that helps fund you, what you're doing.
Yes, but
Mhm.
now we don't have anybody funding it yet.
Okay.
But that's what I'm
Okay.
recruiting for. I'm trying to get people, hey, would you like to donate to this particular fund, help someone, especially low income, to be able to get to the arts and crafts thing that's going on 2 miles away from where they
So
live.
we need people to make some funds. We need you to support
Yes.
Independence Rides. There's so many ways that we can help people. On this planet, we are not here just to be here. We are
That's
here
right.
to help someone in some way. Maybe your part of your funding that you give will go to Independence Rides, and you can go to www.independencerides.com and make a donation on your website, right?
That's exactly
Or you can give them a call at 313-618-1578. Make a donation. Put some money into it. We spend money on all types of things.
All type of things.
But if we're doing help someone with you've been blessed to be a blessing. Let's help our seniors and respect our seniors and help Independence Rides, who's providing a service to seniors and to the blind or visually impaired that they might not have another way to get where they need to go. Will you also take them to, like, if they want to go to the senior centers to
Yes.
do some activities and that type of thing?
All those are included, yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
that's awesome, because too many times people are just sitting in their home and they need to get connected with other people just to keep it fun and keep your mind active. Yes, sir.
Just one other, since you said that I wanted to add, again, a part of the Nobody Left Behind project is called the Rides for Volunteers.
Mhm.
We run into all the time older folks that want to use their experience, their knowledge, and share that, or just volunteer some particular place. But the only thing stopping them is that they don't have a decent ride to get there and come back. Rides for Volunteers is another one of those Nobody
So
Left
you will
Behinds.
pick people up that want to
Volunteer.
Go to
volunteer.
volunteer, right, and then take them home.
Okay. Awesome.
That is wonderful.
That
Yeah.
is wonderful. And this is a service that we didn't know was out there, everyone. So we're so glad to
Yeah.
have and know about Independence Rise. And we want you to support Independence Rise. Even if you're living out of state, you're supporting seniors. You're supporting an organization that is helping seniors. It doesn't matter where you come from. We support all types of things all over across the land. So
Right, that's
let's
true.
support Independence Rides. And again, you can go to www.independencerides.com or give them a call at 313-618-1578.
Now, you are watching Community Updates and Enlightened Hearts live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and other top social media platforms. Please like, follow, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. And did you want to talk about our sponsor?
Yes, ABB Wealth Strategies, wonderful sponsor that helps you with strategic things to help you in retirement. And we just had a senior showing of a film just this past Saturday, and their largest turnout yet. So thank you for all of you who are listening and watching. They had to get another theater because we had 100 people, and that was their largest audience yet to date. And so we want you to come out. There will be some other dates that are upcoming. One of them will be for a fundraiser on April the 13th, where you can come out and see the film. It's a wonderful movie, and you can help support the Lions Club, which will help support our JTIM Women's Life group. And it's going to help, the money for your ticket is going to help the recycling in the environment, getting furniture off the lawns, out of the waterways, and helping people. So come on out and see the film, and you can give them a call. You have to reserve your seat, though, and that would be 248-988-8200. Again, that number to get your ticket today at 248-988-8200. So we'll be having some other dates coming up as well. I'd asked them to send me the new dates, but I didn't get those yet. But April the 13th is one of them, so be sure and get your ticket, 248-988-8200, to come and see Baby Boomers and support our service project efforts.
I wanted to ask you, what has been one of your most joyous moments with working with the seniors? I just can't imagine. I can imagine that you have many, but what is one that stand out for you?
You're exactly right. We have many. One that just comes to mind right off the bat is as a driver, and I'm very much a driver. I'm very much a volunteer, just like everybody else. I don't get a paycheck or anything, but it's a passion. You know, I know I'm helping. But one of the things that I didn't realize when I was given a ride to a person going to a doctor's appointment, on the way home, she commented, "Oh yeah, I used to know someone that lived over there." So I said, "You want to take a ride?" So we just turned off, and we just drove through the old neighborhood in Detroit, and she
Oh,
that was
commented
nice.
about what's better, oh, this building's gone, and it was just such a nice little walk down memory lane.
Yeah.
It took less than 5 minutes.
Mhm.
It was not a long time
Made
at all.
someone extremely happy.
Yeah, but it's just a simple thing
Mhm.
that we could do. Another one that was similar was, we got to go from here to there, and we got construction. I know another way. So we took a ride through the park.
Mhm.
You know?
Okay.
And
That
you
was
could just
nice.
see her just in her own world, looking out the window. I didn't say anything, she didn't say anything, but I knew she enjoyed it. So those are very simple things, easy to do, but some of the more joyous things that experiences that come.
This is a very kind service, and I can see that why you need to find people that are kind of heart
Yeah.
and have a compassion to, be kind. Sometimes people and
Respectful.
respectful. Yeah, so that's good. So people that want to volunteer to work with Independence Rise, give them a call at 313-988-1578. You might have some time on your hands. Give them a call, 618-1578. Let me say that again.
Yeah,
313-618-1578. 1578. All these two numbers have so many eights in them. But
That's right.
give them a call, Independence Ride, 313-618-1578.
Before we close out, is there anything that you would like to tell us, leave with us?
Well, first of all, thank you once again for having me.
Our
we
pleasure.
don't, we don't often get a venue like this to talk about what we do, express some of the passion that goes along with it. And beyond everything else I've said, there's really nothing else I can say except for those who are interested in helping. We would be more than interested in talking with you, rubbing shoulders together to actually get a solution on the streets, so to speak, in a place where it's sorely needed.
Yes. And audience, we want to try something today. You know, Michelle and I always want to encourage you to call in at 313-355-6018. And sometimes we walk away scratching our heads, wondering. We may get a text afterwards.
Or calls.
Yeah, or calls.
After we're off air.
But doing. And so we want to ask you, what is it that we can do to encourage you to call in? I think seeking your advice and your expertise will help us to implement it and see what you say and implement it, just what I just said. So let us know your thoughts, your comments by calling in 313-355-6018, because we really want to hear from you.
Yes.
This is a show where we talk about community involvement. Mr. Wellborn has just shared one of his passions. And you know what's really wonderful is that you love cars, and now you're riding people around in cars.
That's right.
That is really powerful. And taking a gift that he loved and expanding it.
Yeah.
And so we want to expand here by inviting you, hearing your voice, and you sharing your stories with us. We don't want to sit here alone every time and not hear from you. So please feel free to call 313-355-6018 and give us some advice.
Yeah. And if maybe there's a topic you would
Yes.
like to hear us talk about.
That's true.
We're here for you. We're here to help you mentally, physically, all the way around. We put this together to help organizations like what you're doing to make people aware of the services and things that are provided for them. So we're here from you. Let us know if you have a guest that you would like to hear or some topic that you would like to have us talk about. Give us a call and let us know. We're right here, 313-355-6018, WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world.
Yes.
And I've
Yes,
got
yes.
on my